If you're an Amazon seller that wants to be able to reach your Amazon customers off Amazon by emailing them, then keep watching this video because I'm going to be showing you how to actually get your Amazon customers' email address and then how to best go about emailing them, how to give them an offer, what platform to use, and how to be able to communicate with them in a way that does not get an account shut down for you. So stay locked in on this video and let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so the first thing that you're going to need in order to email your Amazon customers is obviously their email address, right? So here is how we can help you do it. So I run an Amazon marketing agency. If you didn't know, it's called Evolve Media, and we work with a lot of Amazon sellers to help them get access to their Amazon customer data. So we've got a great level of access with Amazon to be able to export out the last 30 days of the names and mailing addresses of their exact customers, and then using that data, we do an email append, and we're actually able to find the email address of the name and mailing address, the email address that's associated with that name and mailing address. So if this is something you're interested in and you want to learn more about this, feel free to book a call with me by going to evolvemedia.agency, or I get a special landing page just for this service. You can go to evolvemedia.agency. You can sign up there. You can learn about pricing. All right. So once you have the name and mailing address and the email address of your Amazon customers, then the next step is to determine the offer. You got to figure out how do you actually want to approach them and what is the offer you want to make to them, because you don't want to just approach them and say hi, right? You don't want to just say, hey, come back and buy again. Even though you totally could do that, but you want to sweeten the deal. You want to give them some kind of incentive to come back and buy again, or to give you their email address again. Then that way you get them to actually opt in, because the platform that I'm going to be showing you and explaining to you how to actually email them, it's for cold email marketing, where if you can get them to opt in and actually give you their email address, then you can use other platforms like Klaviyo, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign. See, those platforms are more geared for when people actually opt in and give you their email. But because they didn't necessarily give you their email, you're going to want to use a platform that I'm going to talk more about in this video called Lemlist. Now, Lemlist is a cold email marketing platform totally geared for you to reach out to people through email that did not necessarily opt in for your email marketing efforts. Now, going back to the actual offer, what kind of offer are you going to make to them? So here's just a couple of examples for you to, brainstorm around. But basically, you can give them a completely free product. So you can basically just direct them to a landing page where they're going to opt in with their name, email, maybe phone number, maybe mailing address, whatever you want to have or collect information from them. So they're going to give you their name and email at least. Then you can give them a completely free product by just mailing it out to them, or by creating a MCF order in your Amazon account, or by linking them over to a Shopify store that you may have. So give them something completely free. Another way is to give them a discount promo code. Now, this can be a promo code to your Shopify website or to your Amazon store, but basically you just get their name and email and then you give them a promo code. Next, you could just simply ask for a review. You don't necessarily have to give them something for free or a discount. You can just say, hey, thank you so much for reaching out, for ordering from us on Amazon. We would love your feedback. We're always trying to get better as a company. Please leave us a review. We're a small family-owned business, or whatever story you want to tell them. But basically, just ask for a review. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on your brand and your relationship that your brand has with your customers. But sometimes just simply asking for a review is enough to get people to actually leave you a review. And the last idea I have for you for an offer is just ask them to join your rebate program. So next time you're launching a new product, or if you want to actually rank higher for a specific product, you want to run a rebate campaign where it's basically they go buy at full price, they come back, they give you their order number, and then you verify that they actually did buy, and then you can send them a gift card of their choice or some kind of rebate to cover the cost or a portion of the cost as that rebate. So those are a couple of ideas on how you can actually present them with an offer, or how you can communicate with them once you have their email address. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about how to actually set up this cold email account and an actual email address. All right, so first things first is to open a Google Workspace account. Now, what this is basically you can buy a domain name, and then you can create like an email address around that domain name, and it'll basically be like a Gmail email address. I believe it's like $10 a month for one email address and then $5 after that. Don't quote me on that pricing. I don't know the exact pricing and it may change, but it's around $10 a month for a Google Workspace. Now, I recommend that you buy the domain through Google instead of like GoDaddy or all the other different domain services out there, because it's so much easier to set up a Google Workspace or a Google email address if you just buy the domain from them. It's like all in their system, right? So you buy the domain, then you set up your Google Workspace, then you set up your email address, and then you can also, you're going to need to edit your DNS records, which I'm going to talk about later in this video, but it's going to be very easy for you to set everything up if you just buy the domain from Google and then go ahead and set up a Google Workspace, creating email addresses from that domain name. Now, the reason why you want to create a new domain name is because just in case this domain goes south, maybe you don't necessarily want to create a domain that's your actual brand. Maybe you want to create like a third-party brand that's reaching out to these customers just for a little bit of a buffer for when you do reach out to them. You don't want to actually look like it's coming from your actual brand. You want to use a new domain for that. Also, you don't want to use your main email address because, again, in case things go south and if a lot of your emails start going to junk folders or the email address gets shut down because maybe a lot of your email addresses were high bounce rates or something bad happened, right? It just gives you that layer of protection to, so don't use your main email address for this kind of cold email outreach. All right, so you got your email, you got your Google domain, all that kind of stuff. Next, you want to set up a Lemlist account. Now, the account level that I recommend is their $59 a month plan. It's like their middle tier plan. Totally fine. It includes a feature called Lemwarm, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And then it includes all your outgoing email that you're going to need. Now, basically how this works is Lemlist is managing and controlling your Google email, and it's sending out emails from your Google email. So it's like so when you log into your Google email, you'll literally be able to see like sent, and you'll go into the sent folder and you'll see all the emails that were sent. You'll go into your inbox and you'll see people replying to you there. So it's literally like a controller of your Google account, your Google email account. So it's not like your typical Klaviyo where you like design this beautiful and design friendly email. It's more like an actual email that you would type to a friend. It's going to be pretty much just straight text. You can put images, you can put different hyperlinks and stuff in there, but ultimately it's coming from a Gmail email address. So it's going to be more looking like an actual email that you would just send to a friend. So Lemlist has its limitations. It only really allows you to send 120 to 160 emails per day, right? So you're not just going to be able to hit a list of 20,000 people in one shot, and you really don't want to, because if there's a bunch of unsubscribes or a bunch of bad responses to that, that's going to shut down your account. So it kind of slowly ekes out emails on a daily basis, which is also great for when you're running rebate campaigns. You can kind of throttle the amount of max daily giveaways in that way. But yeah, just keep in mind, 120 to 160 per day is kind of like the max spot. Now, basically, again, it's coming from a Google email address. So Google is seeing that as like, well, how much can one human send out in one day from emails? And so that's kind of the sweet spot that I've personally found. The really, really cool thing about this whole Lemlist thing is that the open rates are high and the click-through rates are actually somewhat average. Open rates, what I've seen, can range anywhere from like 30% to 60%. I personally have experienced those kind of open rates. And then the inbox rate is very high. You can literally see in the Lemlist platform how many of your emails are going to inboxes versus junk folders. And a lot of emails are going to inboxes because of the Lemwarm feature. Now, what this does, really, really cool stuff. Lemlist has their like community of all their different users and stuff, right? So they're leveraging all those different users to basically send emails back and forth to everybody in the community. And what happens is when an email goes to somebody and then maybe it goes into their junk folder, Lemlist takes it out of the junk folder, puts it in the inbox, and kind of marks it as like inbox safe. So you have like all of these different email addresses that are sending emails to each other. It's all automated. Lemlist is controlling everybody's different emails, and it's basically preventing you from going into the junk folder. And it's really warming up your email address so that you're landing in those inboxes, which is ultra powerful when it comes to actually email marketing, right? You want to land in the inbox and not in the junk folder. So Lemwarm comes crucial in there. What I would recommend as far as the Lemwarm feature settings, when you get there, do 40 emails per day. That's like the max amount of emails per day. with the whole lemworm, they're like weird emails. You'll read them. They're a little a little weird, but 40 emails per day with a ramp up of like 5 per day. Because when you first start out, it's not going to send 40 per day. It's going to start at like 5, then it's going to go to like 10, then it's going to 15, and then 20. So once you get to like that 40 per day, it's going to be sending these emails out, and they're going to be like warm type of emails just to keep you from going to the junk folder and keep you going to the inbox. So you got high inbox open rates, you got high open rates. Click-through rate is around like 1 to 2%. It just depends on your email, what your offer is, your copy, all that kind of stuff. But Lemlist is definitely something I recommend to you. If you do want to do more than 120 to 160 per day, you can do what I did. And I basically opened 3 Lemlist accounts with 3 different email addresses. So that gives me the ability to send about 400 emails per day across the 3 different accounts. So you do the same thing, right? Where you go create a Google workspace, create an email address, link it up with Lemlist, and then across those multiple accounts, you can send hundreds per day. And it works out pretty well. And one last thing I need to give you the heads up with the Google email address and Lemlist is that you need to set up the custom domain tracking, and you need to set up DMARC records, basically. So you're going to go into your DNS settings in your Google account, and you're going to add I think it's trail dot, they give you a specific thing in your Lemlist account to add to your DNS records. I believe it's creating a CNAME record. You know what? Let me just show you my screen to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the screen. We are in the email provider tab in the settings area of Lemlist. So what I'm going to do is click on refresh checks. This is going to tell me the DMARC record, the custom tracking domain, SPF record. You want to make sure that this says all good across all of these. Then you have your email test, and it's going to say Gmail marked the email with these labels inbox. So you see that it is good in delivering to the inbox. So you just want to make sure that all these say all good. And if it doesn't say all good, then figure out how to make it all good by adding certain records to your DNS settings. So that is pretty much it. Once you get your Amazon customer data, again, you can sign up for our data download service by going to ema.evolvemedia.agency, or you can book a call with me to talk more about it before you sign up by going to evolvemedia.agency. So once you get that customer data and customer contact information, then you want to set up a Lemlist account, Google Workspace account, make sure it's all warmed up and you're delivering to inboxes, and then start sending out emails on a daily basis to your Amazon customers so that you can start scaling your business, getting customers to come back and buy from you again and again, get more ownership over the customer data, overall build that customer relationship so that you can scale your business and launch new products even better and faster, and then also get more reviews. There's a lot of benefits to doing off Amazon marketing in this way. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.